we're actually ending a tiebreaker. But we really like MP Sub and haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah,
so.
You know, let me do this. Toxic Girl, who's hopefully currently dialed in with her mic enabled. Maybe not. If you can't talk, well, I guess we won't hear from you. But out of all the maps in which you've camped, which would you say that your favorite is?
It's probably Ice.
Alright, so a little MP Ice for TG, which is the second map in which we'll be seeing here tonight. DeeAy, would it be safe to say that MP Base is your favorite map?
You know, it kind of fluctuates. MP Base was my favorite map for the longest time. I went through a little bit of a period where MP Assault was, you know, the be-all to end-all, but, you know, I think I may actually have to settle on MP Beach. I really like MP Beach.
Yeah, you know, going for the classic, MP Beach it's definitely just one of the best maps ever made for online multiplayer gaming in general. And it's not something we're going to be seeing tonight. MP Base is our first matchup tonight. 15 minutes on the clock, which means you have either incredibly short rounds or the longest rounds of all time that we and DeeAy and I know as the dreaded doom of God, please, no full holds on MP Base. The objective for the Allies is to destroy South Radar Station 02 and North Radar Station 01. Typically what you'll see, we talk about this time and again, is that the defending Axis team will let Station 2 go down in the field and focus all of their defensive might on Radar Station 01. From time to time, you'll see an offense who will try to switch it up and go for 01 first, hoping to throw the Axis defense a curveball. Generally, though, DeeAy, I'd say about 95% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, you'll see Radar Station 02 as the first target, Radar Station 01 as the second.
Absolutely, that is the most common strategy I've seen by far. I've also actually seen that the flip strategy backfire. Those who try to take out 01, they manage to do that with some success and then focus their attention on 02, but 02 is a little bit more cramped, a little bit harder to get through, and there's a couple of good slots in there to basically pick people off as they get in there. Hard to protect your engineer when he's basically wide out in the open, so I've seen that reverse strategy backfire a number of times. And like you mentioned, the most common strategy is to just take down 2 and concentrate on 1.
Well, looks like both teams are getting a little impatient here tonight. Wolf TV Toxic Girl with us as well. I'm AL Warwitch, your Axis Shoutcaster. DeeAy of Destruction, CB, Insomnia here as well. And it looks like we've got a full house tonight of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I want you guys to check out the website, www.tsncentral.com. And you can download this recording a little bit later tonight. Probably going to be in the wee hours of the morning, so you'll probably want to pick it up in the morning. But swing by that website. Make sure you register in order to download and post on our forums, etc. So good times indeed. Standing by, waiting on 3 players tonight. Yeah, this is Dead Air brought to you by the Axis.
Thanks,
D.
That would be my bad.
Leave me
hanging. Just, yep, I just run away.
That's all right.
Insomnia, actually, I do have a question for you. Warwitch and I, we cast a lot of Cal matches, and their rules are first team to 3 points basically takes the map. Rules are significantly different in European RTCW, but what happens in a null round if we do actually have full rounds and our full holds, and neither team is able to get a cap or make the plant or do whatever it is they need to do? What happens in that situation?
Nobody gets a point. So we get ends
Nobody
up
gets a point, we
0-0.
just move on? Okay.
Yep.
Nice. See, and that's actually another reason why I enjoy European RTCW so much, is their rules state 2 maps, 2 rounds per map. If you do, in fact, have a null round, like Insomnia just told us, there's no point. You just keep going. That round happened, nothing happened, no one scored, you just keep going. So, you know, it is possible to see a 0-0 game at the end of 4 rounds, although we hope that doesn't happen. But, you know, it is a possibility. There's none of this play until somebody scores. Kind of different strategy, different rule set that I actually really enjoy seeing the difference between the two.
Well, you know, one thing is for certain, and I've said it time and again, I am definitely a realist, and the fact of the matter is Return to Castle Wolfenstein is in its grave in America. It has had a long and exciting life, but Wolf, its day is over. At least here in the big US of A, but in Europe, the listeners and the teams continue to rock. You know, I hear rumors that it's entering that winding down phase in Europe as well. But my point being is that everything in Europe it just seems to be a little more diehard than the American audience. I'm not slamming Americans by any means, but I don't know. Maybe we're more fickle, D. I don't know what it is. But the European crowd is definitely hardcore. Maybe it's just the fact that you all went, well, your grandparents all went through World War II. Who knows? But fact of the matter is, could be even that the Axis Goat hails from Europe. I don't know what it is, but Euro RTCW a lot stronger now than US RTCW, and it's a real pleasure, excitement to be here tonight as we're standing by for 5 players. Competition settings have been loaded tonight. Little OSP action, 6-on-6 fun. AMD versus the Kreaturen tonight. DeeAy and Warwitch, and my inability to cut the sounders, so we're gonna pass it back to you.
Yes, that's what I'm here for. Warwitch calls the shots, and I kind of fill in airtime when he needs to go do something. But right now, still waiting. We've got the Axis team readied up, and we are just waiting on the allied team of the Kreaturen. Having a little bit of a discussion inside the server right now. Not quite sure what's going on, but you know, it's only 6 minutes past the time the game was supposed to start. That's nothing. You know, I've seen games 45 minutes in and we're still haven't started the game yet, so just gonna wait for the Kreaturen to basically get themselves all ready to go. On the allied side tonight, we do have the Kreaturen, Mayhem, doekoe, Pro, Lunatic, Eskimo, and Sill. And the defending Axis, Gamepoint, AMD, we have Civ, Wuff, Spear, Summel, Fette, and Refuse. So pings are actually pretty even. Taking a look at the server, they all seem to be hovering around the 50 mark, except for one guy who's got a ping of 85. But even that is respectable, considering I'm pinging like 300 to this server.
yeah, you know, I don't even want to look at my ping here tonight. All I know is that I am in game. The Axis 500 computer is up and running tonight. We've got the Wolf, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and we've got EuroCup 8 action on MP Base, the Kreaturen versus Gamepoint AMD. Don't forget as well, check out our sponsors, www.artofwarcentral.com, as well as www.clanbank.com. And I believe we've just picked up a new sponsor, VIII, that I don't know much about, and I work here, but we're going to find out a little bit more about them after the game. So stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. DeeAy of Destruction. The game is going to be starting here tonight. Let's do it. At TSN, all you.
Game is underway. 14:53 on the clock. We have got the Axis team of of Gamepoint AMD streaming out of their spawn point, heading towards what looks like this would be Tower 01, and I don't have my game names on, so Warwitch, I'm going to throw it back to you and fix that real quick.
Yeah, well, here we are. We are on radar station 02, and leaning over right now, the engineer in position for the incoming Kreaturen squad gets it done easily at 14:25. Radar station 02 planted. Very typical strategy that we'll see here tonight utilized as the countdown is now underway. Making our way now as we track Sill from the Kreaturen's roster. Lieutenant Allied Army now taking machine gun fire northeast courtyard. That chokehold right there. GMPO Refuse is right there to shut him down, and it's one-on-one action of medic versus lieutenant. The medic does come out on top, as is often the case if a medic is fully supplied with ammunition. Now, radar station 02 has been disabled, and we've got 13:54 Allied squad. Again, the Kreaturen versus GMPO, Gamepoint AMD. Round 1, set 1. DeeAy. All you.
Absolute carnage surrounding North Tower 01. There are explosions going off all over the place. Nice grenade work by Pro. Managed to take out 2 members of the Gamepoint team. Right now I'm at the tower and I'm seeing a lot of defense, but so far none of the allies have managed to survive that onslaught. They are coming up though, the tunnel of death. We've got Eskimo, a medic for the Kreaturen team, making his way inside, narrowly avoiding some airstrikes that have just been tossed out by the defending lieutenants. Right now though, Pro, he is an engineer. He's making his way inside the radar station 01, but does not make it. He is taken out. Medic comes in to revive him, but does not get that done. Actually, sorry, he does. Engineer's still alive. We have a green light down already. Green light down.
Take him down.
Not able. Oh, taken out just before he able to get that dynamite planted. 12:56 on the clock. 1 tower down, 1 to go. Very close but Gamepoint at the last second was able to take that away from Kreatures, and the game is still on.
Yeah, very nice push from the Kreatures right there to try to get something done up the front inside that spiral, make the attack on radar station 01. Engineer comes in, tries to get the plant taken down. Nice medic revivals right there for the Kreatures. He is revived. Almost gets the plant, green light, but GMPO sweep in as the Axis defense and shut him down. Nice push right there. Countdown continues, 12:20 on the clock here tonight. Looks like Wolf TV might be having some difficulties. You can count on the fact that Insomnia and friends, Toxic Girl, working very hard to resolve those for you. Nice Panzerfaust kill, there it is! 3-man or 2-man Panzerfaust kill as looks like a Panzerfaust from Mayhem. Kreatures takes down Wolf and Refuse. Blown away over there on the northeast side tonight. GMPO Spears and Mayhem up here. A lot of dueling and action going on. Mayhem and Carnage up here around radar station 01. Then grows abruptly quiet. One man, doekoe up the front by the field truck. Tunnel of Death into the spiral now. Medic action. But he's not going to have the force required to take over 01. It looks like he's going to hold back on the lower spiral. Wait for some reinforcements, which might be coming soon. DeeAy, all you.
We had a medic, we had lunatics trying to hold the fort down for the rest of his teammates to get in here, but it's not going to happen as here come Gamepoint. They have spawned back in nice and fresh. Refuse, he's a medic for the Axis defending team. Now basically just trying to hold off the incoming allies at bay. There is no forward deployment flag on this map, so the allies have to come all the way from across the map to get to this north radar tower. Right now, Gamepoint holding strong on top of the Bridge of Death, firing down that Tunnel of Doom, trying to make sure no one gets through, not going to see if anyone, basically just going to hold them back as long as they possibly can. There's still 11 full minutes on this map, so plenty of time, plenty of chances for Kreatures to get in here and get that second tower down. But so far, all is quiet as we wait for another spawn-in. Not much happening here at the North Radar Tower. Warwitch, do you know where those allies are?
Yeah, I have no idea. I am the Axis Shoutcaster. I pay no heed. No, a couple of allies incoming from that south side, making their way to the chokehold right there. A little artillery support. Wolf AMD lays it down, takes down Mayhem right there. Several members of the Allied K squad inside that chokehold, dropping it. Nice 2-man Panzerfaust kill again from Spear, who lays the hurt down to Lunatic and Eskimo. Still is trying to get something done in that chokehold, but shut down by Refuse and Compatriot for the German Wehrmacht tonight. 10-14, very solid defense for the Gamepoint roster. Lost radar station 02 by choice, nearly lost radar station 01, but nice medic and assault work has enabled them to keep it. And another Panzerfaust kill right there, a 2-man, as Spear lays the hurt down and gets it done tonight. Booyah, dig all you.
Spear, definitely a force to be reckoned with here tonight as the allies try one more time coming up the Tunnel of Doom, trying to get something done. We have still in the background, he is a lieutenant throwing out airstrikes, trying to hold off the Axis so his teammates can get inside and get up that spiral. Right now though, here come the Axis. Gamepoint, Civ making his way up the spiral ramp. Panzerfaust from Mayhem takes out Refuse and takes out fette. That is definitely going to help the incoming Allied team, having a little bit of trouble getting past the Gamepoint defense right now. Tower is still safe, no dynamite down, no engineer has been able to get up here, but the defense on top of the bridge was taken out. Lunatic and his pistol took out Civ, but then was quickly revived by, this would be Summel, sorry, names are all mushed up together, but right now Panzerfaust from Spear takes out Eskimo, and the allies still trying to come in as Mayhem, who's down all by himself, and a grenade tossed out by Spear does some damage, and the Axis are spawning back in again. 8:53 on the clock, and that push was shut down by the Gamepoint team.
You know, absolutely, the Kreatures here coming in happenstance, coming in 2Zs, 3Zs, 1Zs, and 2Zs, just not having the force that they need. These guys might want to consider a definitive push up the front, maybe from the side, consider perhaps going long, try to throw off the roster. Here's the Axis defense for the GMPO squad. 2 men on northeast side here tonight, medic and Leutman combo, 1-man Bridge of Death. It is fette. Looking down, he's a medic to report on any incoming from that direction. Taking a look over here on the hot Tim roof, left-hand side that looks over long, GMPO Spear, also with that classic position to look down that northeast corridor, that chokehold, and open fire there with the Panzerfaust, as well as make reports of any incoming that might be coming around that left-hand long alongside MG42 Courtyard. Once again, now little Panzerfaust carnage, you know we like to call it. Spear again, lays the hurt down, and just like in Band of Brothers, Lieutenant Spear is making it happen in World War II. 7:48 on the clock tonight. Countdown continues rock hard. Axis defense refusing to allow the Allied squad of the Kreatures to gain
all the way back to the tunnel. The Allies come up to get to the South Tower 02. So he's basically picking off the incoming Allied team as they come through. They're not getting anywhere near that North Tower, and they're going to have to do something about that if they want to get anything done. Spear definitely causing a lot of trouble for Kreatures here tonight. Tunnel strategy doesn't appear to be working for them. Hopefully going to be going to try another route to get to that North Radar Tower. 6 minutes 47 seconds left on the clock, and another Panzerfaust from Spear. Doekoe and Pro go down. Pro is an engineer for the Kreatures team. They need to keep him alive, and right now that just seems to be a real issue for the Kreatures team, as Gamepoint's defense is just all over the place and they are kicking all the asses here tonight.
Yeah, as Justice P might say, Spear is currently the X factor here, and he alone is the equation in which the Kreatures have got to remove from the battlefield tonight. If 1 and 1 is going to equal 2 and a plant on the tower, they have got to take out Spear, who is just, man, blowing these guys away. 6:06 on the clock. The battle continues to rage tonight. Still plenty of time to get that plant, but incoming Kreatures have got to do it fast. Locking it down, the Axis squad here. Every approach in which the Kreatures take, they are there to get it done. Lockdown now. Spear's an engineer. He's foregone the way of the soldat and moved to engineer status, dropping a grenade over there into that Axis spawn side, taking down an ally that was clustered within of those buildings just inside that MG42 Courtyard. 5:36 is on the clock. Once again, very sporadic fighting, no real push to announce. Heading over to South Radar Station right now. Very aggressive GMPO squad, the Gamepoint squad. These guys are, like you said, D, taking the battlefield to the Allies tonight, and the Kreatures are forced to fight for every single yard in this engagement in 1944. 515, back to you.
Kreatures push into the North Radar Tower. Seems to be a little bit scattered. Wherever I look on the map, we see 1 or 2 allies, and then are quickly shut down by machine guns from the Axis Gamepoint team. Not a lot of luck right now as Fett comes up the spiral ramp, making his way towards the tower, and his position on top of the bridge, looking down the Tunnel of Doom. All is quiet down there. No one's going to try and take that route. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock. Everything is quiet, and Warwitch would say all quiet on the western front. Swinging back towards the Allied spawn. Here they come over by South Tower 02. Going to try and make this their base. They're going to gather their team before they make a solid whole team push on that North Radar Tower. Coming in bits and pieces does not seem to be working for them. They cannot break through the defense set up by Gamepoint AMD. Civ, artillery support, takes out Sil. Doekoe quickly follows him, and now we've got 3 members left alive. 4 minutes, 18 seconds on the clock. Just machine gun fire all over the place. It's coming from all angles. We've got fantastic crossfire work happening here. Gamepoint is set up in such a way that no matter where they shoot, they're basically cornering. They're using some kind of weird triangle pattern here, but they're basically trapping the incoming Allied members and just picking them off one by one. Now less than 4 minutes on the clock. We've had 11 minutes, very fast time to take down Tower 2, but Tower 1 is the important tower. It's the one that has to go. We're actually going to get a time set on this map.
You know, we could potentially be in a dangerous situation. We have yet to see the Gamepoint Allied offense tonight, but if it's staggered and slow, we could be looking at a full hold. But we're not going to go there yet, because this round 1, set 1 is not yet over. 3:30 on the clock remaining. Tracking now, Spotlight Mayhem, Soldat or Soldier Allied Army, Panzerfaust into that war room right there northeast side. Pulls out the pistol, fighting for his life now. Takes down Spear with a pistol, is then revived by Lunatic. He's going to have a recharge on the Panzer. Charging forward now, here come the Allies trying to get something done in the chokehold that leads to Radar Station 01. But the Axis are there. Fire for effect, incoming airstrikes now, and the Allied makes their push. Lunatic K roster in position, but he's a medic, locking it down, trying to buy time for the engineer at 2:55. Looking down for the engineer now, waiting for him, looking towards the spiral. See no engineer as of yet. Here they come. Here's the push. Double medic action. Medic and lieutenant rather on the spiral. Medic Eskimo, but again, no engineer for the Kreaturen roster. 240. They've got control of radar station 01, but they do not have an E in position, and without that engineer, you ain't going nowhere. The Axe is going to be refortifying this position here in just a moment, and the Kreatures made a vital mistake. They lost their engineer on the battlefield, and they're going to have to wait for a respawn, try to hold station 01 as long as they can. But here comes the Axis, Schnell, making the charge and regaining control. Can they do it? Yes, indeed, DeeAy. Not looking good for the Kreature.
Absolutely not. They did have brief control of that north radar tower. A nice Panzerfaust from Mayhem of the Kreatures team, taking out Fette and Wuff, and is then taking out himself for a returning Panzerfaust from Spear. But the Kreatures did have brief control of the tower, but right now we have got dummy dynamite planted inside that the north radar tower, as an engineer for the Gamepoint team got in there, planted some dynamite. We got Civ just trying to make things a little bit more difficult, because that dynamite's going to have to be defused before they can actually plant, unless they want to risk being blown up mid-plant, and that probably just isn't something they need to risk right now. 1:37 on the clock. Don't forget, 30 seconds for that dynamite to go off, so they've got about a minute to get in here and get something done. No sign of the Kreatures engineer anywhere. We have medics, we've got lieutenants, and here he is, Pro, now making his way up that spiral ramp. 1:23 on the clock. Don't forget, dummy dynamite still planted. Takes machine gun fire from Civ, and down the medic goes one more time. Looks like his body has been destroyed as well, and that is pretty much going to spell doom for the Kreatures team. They're not going to be able to get in here unless they pull some kind of miracle out of their hats. It's going to spell real trouble for the incoming allied Kreatures team.
Yeah, 1 minute warning has now been sounded as revivals are being made. 30 seconds for any dynamite to go off, and we've got more dummy dynamite being set in position around radar station 01. Gamepoint AMD, also formerly known as Infensis, that legendary squad, are locking it down as the Axis defense here tonight, going to get the chance, a solid 15 on the clock, to prove their allied offensive. 36 seconds. We're going to go ahead and sound that 30-second warning here in just a moment. Or not. There it is.
We have nur noch 30 Sekunden. Schnell, schnell.
Yeah, we are officially in garbage time, DeeAy. Yeah, talking over you, my bad. Garbage time here tonight. Countdown underway. 16, 15, 14, and more. Don't have access. You know, my crazy, wild cam FDM sounder stopped working. What a surprise. So we're not going to have some orgasmic climactic ending here, but you're going to hear the glorious, the Axis win, 1-0. The Axis win. The Axis win. Clock now set at 15 solid minutes tonight as GMPO lock it down and hold off the Kreatures the entire time on the clock. DeeAy, let's talk statistics tonight.
Clearly outplaying Kreatures tonight. We've got Gamepoint AMD coming in 64% efficiency overall. Every single one of their team is clocking in at over 60% efficiency. We have Summel on top with 70%. Don't forget Spear X Factor of that round for sure. His Panzerfaust doing tons and tons of damage to the Kreatures team. Kreatures in their hand efficiency overall was 35%. High player on that one was Lunatic with 50% efficiency. Full 15 minutes on the clock. They got an early plant on South Tower 02. Unable to get anything done on 01. After that, very, very close chance they had. They had a green light down. Engineer was bent over, but in the end, too much defense from the Axis team cost the engineer his life, and they were not able to get a foot in the door for the rest of that map. So full 15 minutes. Everybody's ready, and we're going to start this round in about 7 seconds.
Spirit likes to give a shout out to 4 Kings on Dote tonight, and a shout out to Rewind from the Kreatures still tonight. Pound.rev from doekoe tonight. Battle back underway now as the Kreatures takes the Axis squad. Gonna make the attempt to hold off the incoming GMPO roster. Quick rundown again. Gamepoint, Spear, Summel, Fette, Refuse, Wolf, and Civ versus the Kreatures Pro, Mayhem, doekoe, Lunatic, Eskimo, and Sill. Some very well-known names in those squads tonight. Battle of the Champions tonight here. 14:30 Dynamite Plant, South Radar Station 01. Are you surprised? I'm not. That's always the tower that goes down first. That's right. Game is over for Radar Station 02. Kind of just like France in World War II. It just went down very quickly. Game over. Oh. Alright, 14. It's my classic France joke. And Wolf players on the server.
14:07 on the clock. We got a red light down at South Tower 02 that is going to go off any second now. We had Syl, Lieutenant for the Kreaturen team, come around the corner and was trying to do some damage to the incoming allies, but did not happen. Was easily taken out as nice support fire from Pro takes out Refuse and Summel. Two-man support fire kill. South Tower 02 has gone down, so now only half the thing that I can't think of needs to be done. Mission? We could use mission. Half the mission is being completed. 13:36 on the clock. Swinging over to North Radar Tower 01. All is quiet. We've got axes set up all over the place. Eskimo the medic on top of the bridge, keeping lookout for the rest of his teammates. 13:24 to go. Plenty of time. Let's see if Gamepoint can do this in 15 minutes, as Creatures were unable to do so in set number 1.
Well, let's talk about the Creatures defense. Nice support fire. Call it in. Fire for effect. Pro. Support fire takes down Gamepoint, Refuse, Spear, and Summel, who just walk into a raging inferno of destruction. Pro is on fire, then pulls out the 9mm and takes down Civ. The guy is a monster. Uber Soldat making it happen tonight at 12:52. Let's not have a full hold tonight. Here on the Bridge of Death, the Creatures Eskimo medic looking down. Hot tin roof, no one in position. Northeast chokehold. Doekoe medic also in position for the Creatures team. The Axis roster, one man way down there by the Tunnel of Death. Now we got an incoming push. Here comes the Gamepoint roster. Up the gut, up the front, towards the fuel truck, unmolested, making the charge. There is no defense. Defense out of position. Some machine gun fire from the long MG42 courtyard, but they're gaining access to the spiral, making revivals now. Lieutenant Wolf in position here as he's now engaging the Axis, looking for an engineer. Here comes Fette, 12:09. Fette in position, leaning over. Fette now inside. Dynamite plan, taking machine gun fire, and he's got it. Fette in position, gets it done at 12:01. A nice push from the Gamepoint roster, slamming hard at 11:57. Here comes the Axis. Schnell moving forward, looking for an engineer. DeeAy, I don't think they've got one, and this could be bad times for the Creatures defense tonight. Good game being exchanged, and it looks like we've got a score of 1-0 in favor of Gamepoint AMD. Wow.
We've got grenades flying into the hut just in case someone does manage to sneak through, and not going to happen. Allies win. 3 minutes and 26 seconds is the time Gamepoint AMD was able to disable both of those towers. Definitely give them good enough to give them the first point of the game. So the score is 1-0 in favor of Gamepoint AMD. I was actually a little bit concerned for Fette there. Fette was the engineer who got the dynamite planted on that North Radar Tower 01, but in his haste to get inside the tower, or inside the radar station, he actually threw the dynamite in such a way that it landed in the doorway. So when he was bent over to plant that dynamite down, his ass was literally sticking out of the door, and he was actually taking machine gun fire from across the way from the other platform where the Axis were set up. He was taking machine gun fire as he had that dynamite planted, because in his haste he didn't get a chance to put it inside the station and basically, keeping himself out of the way. But he still manages to do it. 3:26 is what Gamepoint AMD did. Score is now 1-0 in favor of Gamepoint.
Yeah, it wasn't just him sticking out, DeeAy, it was his ass. And he almost got his ass shot off, but you're right, he got in there, got it done, tried to lay down prone as best as he could tonight, and he was able to get that plant, made it happen, and the score is now 1-0 in favor of the Gamepoint roster. Gamepoint able to hold off the Creatures the entire time and then strike with a vengeance at 3:26. Now momentum is on their side because they are the allies yet again for round 2, set number 1, meaning now that they already know what it takes to set a fast time. Very likely going to stay with the same strategy tonight. You're going to see them take down Station 02 and then land a blow on Radar Station 01, but there's always that chance that they might decide to throw a change in the equation. I doubt they're going to do it because they know it works, but you have that 5% chance that they might go for 01 initially from the start. Momentum definitely in their favor here tonight, though, DeeAy, as they go up 1-0 in the semifinals of EuroCup 8 RTCW.
having some ping problems on the server right now. We've got Pro for the Creatures team pinging in at 700. His ping is basically hopping between, normal, which is about 50, up to, I've seen it as high as about 800. So hopefully his ping will settle down, because this is, the semi-final for EuroCup 8, and having a player with an incredibly bad ping and bad pocket loss can cost your team, and nobody wants to go through that. So hopefully that is going to straighten itself out. But for the last few minutes, it definitely has not been doing so. It's just all over the place here tonight. So Pro not having a good time.
Quick rundown from Insomnia. I know that you're busy. You've probably got a lot on your mind running some servers and admitting the entire game itself, but what were your thoughts about that last round and the incredible time set by Gamepoint AMD?
Well, I think Gamepoint did it quite well if I compare it with Kreaturen. Kreaturen was playing like a deathmatch game, and Gamepoint was more playing like a real game.
Now let me ask you this. I've already asked DeeAy. What does the Creatures roster's Kreaturen need to do tonight to gain the advantage required to defeat the Gamepoint AMD squad? What would you advise to them if you were in their Ventrilo right now?
Wait for each other and don't run away like a couple of deathmatch players.
Yeah, you heard it
and
here.
Get an engineer.
Have your engineers ready, and don't DM. It's not TDM tonight. It's capture that objective, destroy those towers. Radar 01, radar 02. Insomnia lays it down on the line. Well, we'll find out here shortly if the Creatures roster, Kreaturen, see, I've already forgotten how to pronounce it. If the Creatures roster can get that done tonight. Momentum again, very, very, very much in the favor of the Gamepoint AMD squad. And we're just standing by waiting on 4 players. We've given a rundown of the rosters, efficiencies. Also stand by later tonight. DeeAy and myself are taking notes. We're going to be handing out the Art of War Central Soldat of the Game, as well as the Axis Goat Medal of Honor. So stick around for that after the game for the post-game wrap-up. Waiting on 4 players here tonight. DeeAy, round 1, set 1. Round 1, set 2 is over, leaving us with a score of 1-0 on MP base. After this engagement, we're going to be heading off to MP Ice, which is always exciting.
It is. Looking forward to MP Ice, document-driven map as opposed to a map that basically relies on the engineers. So that's going to be a good switch-up, maybe a little bit of an opportunity to display some different strengths on MP Ice. Definitely a much, much different map than MP Base. So we've got a good sampling of RTCW maps here tonight. Still waiting on 4 players. Apparently, I've heard in the server that Creature Pro, the one who's having the ping problems, apparently his dad is sending an email, and that is causing his ping to spike up around 975. So we're waiting for that email to get sent. Don't really want to think about what is in that email that would cause it to cause that much problem to their connection, but, whatever makes you happy.
Goat porn! What else do you think it is? It's goat porn. Yeah. Waiting on 3 players tonight. We're chilling tonight, and to waste some time, I took my Return to Castle Wolfenstein box into work last night, and I took a couple pictures, so I'll probably post them in Pound Warwitch Fan Club on the QuakeNet IRC channel. That, by the way, I did not name, nor did I create, so don't think that I'm some, arrogant, cocky bastard or something, D. I mean, I'm an arrogant, cocky bastard, but don't think because of that I'm an arrogant, cocky bastard. Anyway.
Exactly. We think for different reasons, not because of just what a channel.
Right. So,
I kid.
Go ahead. I'm right.
No, everyone knows and loves Warwitch, one of the nicest guys you'll ever get a chance to work with. So RTCW, always a lot of fun with him. Still waiting on 1 player. Oh, it looks like that email has been sent, and we are ready to go. Gamepoint is on the incoming allied team this time around. See if they can beat or duplicate that time of 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Cause a lot of problems for Creature in the next round, but here we go. Game is underway. 14:55 on the clock. And Warwitch, why don't you start us off?
Well, we're going to head over to South Radar Station 02 right now, find out what the rundown is, take a look for the incoming allied squad of Gamepoint AMD. Very likely going to be streaming in here in just a moment. Standing by, indeed. Here comes Fette, all alone, unescorted, unmolested, advancing forward. Here's some distant machine gun fire down long. MG42 courtyard, air strikes incoming. Fette bounds inside. gets the green light, no trouble, no problem. Engineer in position and utilizing the classic strat. GMPO squad now make the attack. Advancing forward, northeast side, also going long, heading towards radar station 01. Their fastest time last round, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Can they repeat? We're going to find out here in just a moment. DeeAy of Destruction, back to you.
14 minutes even on the clock. Dynamite has been planted at the south radar tower. That's going to go off any second now. Tower is deserted. No sign of any of the allies. There we go. Dynamite has exploded, and the south radar tower has been disabled at 13:49. Swinging back over to the north tower, though, we've got Kreaturen set up. Their Axis defense is going to hopefully be solid this time around. Don't forget they went down fairly fast in the last round. And here comes Gamepoint. They're coming around by the Axis spawn, and that is causing them quite a few problems. As machine gun fire, we've got another triangle defense set up here, and lunatic, Eskimo, and doekoe doing a lot of damage with their MP40s and their Thompsons. Eskimo getting 2 kills in a row with that MP40, taking out Refuse and taking out Fette. Right now, 13:18 on the clock, going up the spiral ramp to see if any of the allies have managed to break through the defense we've got up here so far, and they have not yet done so. Panzerfaust from Spear, though, is going to turn the tides in the favor of Gamepoint. AMD takes down 2 members. Down goes Eskimo, down goes Sill, and right now, swinging back to Tower 01. Warwitch, what do you got?
Well, we had a Lieutenant Allied Army GMPO squad on 01, signifying that the Allies are gaining ground tonight, but the Axis K team are beginning to reinforce. Looks like their defense might be struggling trying to get back in position, hit very hard by the hammer and sickle of the incoming push of the Allies. Now inside the spiral, we've got Summel in there getting it done, trying to make it happen. He's a medic now, engaging the enemies of the incoming K Eskimo medic squad, and Summel is gonna come out on top. No, taken down by the pistol of Eskimo. Medic on medic battle, and game over for Summel. Eskimo lays it down cold at 12:18, but here comes GMPO Wolf right here. AMD action. Lieutenant Allied Army looking for an engineer right here. Green light, we've got some problems. 12:07, dynamite plant, radar station 01. Gamepoint are hitting hard. Allied blitzkrieg across Germany tonight. Berlin is the objective. 11:57 countdown underway, and the creatures are just having a problem keeping off the Allies. But here's an engineer, Mayhem. The Axis Army leaning over, and he's now in position. He makes the defuse at 11:44. Mayhem sweeps in and saves the day. But the Allies now coming back. GMPO, Fette, and friends. Another Allied push. Another green light leaning over 11:33, and another dynamite plant DeeAy. Despite the efforts of Mayhem as a German Wehrmacht, they cannot hold off the Allied squad of GMPO, and at 11:23, the Axis incoming. Take us home.
We've got a double plant on the tower. We're not going to have the same thing happen last time Mayhem managed to get in here and defuse that dynamite. We've got an engineer from the Kreaturen team. They are bent over trying to get that dynamite done, but it's not going to happen. They're also working on the second dynamite that was planted. One is down still, now bent over the first dynamite, and not going to happen. It blows up in his face, and the clock is set to 3:56 for the Gamepoint AMD team.
Nice. 3:58, actually what I have here. 2 seconds does make a difference. In round 2, set number 1 tonight. Very nice attempt right there from the Creatures team. Sill, he leaned over. He managed to disarm one, was halfway through. The second one, blue wire, no, need the manual. Bam! Game over. Man, shut down. 358 from Gamepoint AMD tonight. A little bit slower than the last time of 326 deep, but keep in mind, in round 1, set 1, the Creatures could not set a time. We could be looking at a very quick 2-0 lead for Gamepoint.
Absolutely. And as well, that last play was actually really interesting because that could have gone either way. Don't forget, double dynamite plant by the Allied engineers. If Sill had disabled the inner dynamite first, there's a very good chance he might have actually got both of them done, because that dynamite was probably within a second or two of being disabled when it went off. So it was literally down to the wire, and it was just a matter of which dynamite are you going to defuse first, the one closest to you or the one on the inside. He chose the wrong one, and that was the wrong dynamite. And 3:58 on the clock is what Kreature has to do now, and they were unable to do it in 15, so let's see if they can do it in a third of that time as the game is underway.
Pretty much means that you have to make your attack with a time like 3:58 on the clock. You can't really screw up at any point in your assault versus Radar Station 01 and 02. You've got to take down 2 fast and be equally as fast on Radar Station 01. Gamepoint now beginning to enforce Radar 01, leaving 02. Here comes the Engineer Pro, now moving forward to Kreature's roster, waiting now, standing by, suspecting there might be an ambush. The Axis have left behind the fire for effect on Radar 02, but abandoned the station, and the dynamite planted at 3:23, 30 seconds from now. That station is going down. Can they make the advancement and tie the game up in about the 3 minutes they have left? Heading from northeast side, we'll find out here in just a moment as Summel, GMPO medic, locking it down in that chokehold, and we're standing by for the carnage at 3:05, waiting to see what the Kreatures can do. 1-1 or 2-0. We're gonna find out in about 3 minutes. DeeAy, all you. Yo.
Dynamite has been planted at that south radar tower, and it blows up as I'm speaking. So 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. One of the points of this game is done. Now we just need to focus our concentration on North Radar Tower 01. See if we can't do the same thing over here. If the Kreatures are able to do it in the next 2 minutes and 37 seconds, we will have a tie game. But Gamepoint AMD is going to throw everything they have at them for the next couple of minutes here. And it's going to be very, very difficult as, grenade work from Civ and Spear take out 2 members of the Kreatures team. We've got the allied team of Kreatures coming up through the chokehold right now, streaming out, trying to get something done, making their way now through the other chokehold. Engineer is behind the medic. Engineer Pro still alive, but fette for AMD is going to do as much damage as possible, and it's going to cost the Allies team both their medic and the engineer. That was a very, very quickly shut down push by Gamepoint, holding off Kreatures. Thompson work from Still does a great job. We've got a green light over on the tower, and Still is in there. He actually managed to sneak by. Wow. Dynamite planted on that North Radar Tower. 1:49 on the clock. If they can hold this dynamite for the next 25 seconds or so, we will have a tie game. And a very unexpected development for the Kreatures team.
Absolutely out of nowhere, countdown underway. It looks like their push was shut down, but incoming engineer trying to make the defusement, blown away by a grenade. 1:30 on the clock. The Kreatures are not going down like that. They disable the tower and they beat the clock. The game is tied. DeeAy 1-1. This is truly what we came to see tonight.
Absolutely, completely unexpected play. Still definitely gets props for that. Manages to sneak around the carnage, snuck around, I believe it came up the spiral ramp, and was able to just basically get past all of the Gamepoint AMD defense, get in there, get the dynamite planted, and they were caught unaware. There was no engineer to be found to disable that dynamite, and 2 minutes and 35 seconds is what Kreatures did, definitely making up for their no plant at all in the 15 minutes. So right now, moving on to MP Ice, and the game is tied at 1-1.
You know, all that talk, all that bantering, which I did, basically saying that Gamepoint had the momentum, that Kreatures were suffering, that they didn't have what it takes to beat the time, has been flushed down the toilet. It shows that the Warwitch has been proven wrong yet again. Big surprise. 2:35 was the time in which the Kreatures utilized with a very nice push. Still, the engineer is definitely getting mad props here tonight on my war chart tonight, and definitely earning himself the potential to be Soldat of the game or for the Axis Goat Medal of Honor. Very nice play from Still. Through the distraction brought by his entire team, was able to sweep in and make the plant and then hold that station with his allied compatriots to get it done in 1944 to tie that game. A very critical round for the Kreatures roster. They've gained back their confidence, they've gained back the momentum, and this game is basically a fresh ball game as we head off to MP Ice, the frozen Arctic of the Axis and the Allies.
Absolutely. Document retrieval map is this one, still waiting on 3 players to get this game underway. Full 2 rounds on MP Ice, and if at the end of that we still have a score, or a tied game, we'll move it on to MP Sub, but that still remains to be seen. Exciting map.
Well, MP Ice, like you said, a very different map than MP Base, a larger map than Base. Allies are on the defense versus the incoming Axis in this engagement. In fact, you really can't get much more different. There is the objective, not engineer base. The engineers do have several objectives, the fortress wall and the shipping hall door. basically what these allows for the Axis incoming several more options to make their assault, so they are not forced into a chokehold scenario. So you will see the engineers consider those options. Always the door, 50-50 on the wall. It's always dependent on the team's strat, but the door is certainly always something that gets planted tonight. Axis, again, now on the incoming, very different from MP base. Allies taking the defense here tonight. Then it's a document-based or document-driven map. As you said, it's not based on the engineer. You do not need the engineer to accomplish your mission. Typically, you will see a medic involved in grabbing the documents, grab them, supported by his squad, as the Axis of Fairmont will run all the way back through the shipping hallways, down that, or past the half-track, towards the Axis transmitting tower, from which they will transmit to Berlin, and from there, the Axis will win. But the Allies going to try to stop that tonight, and we're going to find out with the tied ball game of 1-1, who is ultimately going to come out the victor and advance to the finals on TSN.
Exciting stuff here tonight. Still waiting for these 4 players. Got a problem with Wolf TV. We're trying to get that fixed so people can actually watch the action as well as hear it over the TSN sound waves. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these two teams play MP Ice. Seen this map a lot lately. Strategies have been a little bit different for each team that takes it on. And like you mentioned, blowing that service door, definitely an important factor. Blowing the fortress wall, not so important, as most people tend to go down on the Axis skis. But I have seen some people try and escape through that breach in the fortress wall. So kind of depends on how brave you're feeling. But you're going to have to basically be able to run really, really fast.
Yeah, and that's what it's generally all about tonight. It's always exciting to see when the documents are grabbed and what will transpire. Something else that you need to keep in mind as well is that the Allied defense, if documents are grabbed, oftentimes will set up an ambush inside the Axis communication tower. So a critical mistake in which the teams do not need to make is to ensure that they send their squad ahead of the document carrier so that he does not walk into a trap. Time and again, we have seen teams get a little bit overzealous, see the capper, the grabber with the documents, racing home to transmit to the Führer and not realizing that he is walking into a trap, only to have them returned back to the Allied comm tower at the last moment. And that's never a good time for the Axis here tonight on MP Ice. Round 3, set number 1, coming up DeeAy, and this will be brought to you by www.clanbase.com. You want to check them out for some kick-ass game servers and hosting. Also a big sponsor of the Team Sportscast Network. They and our other sponsors make it very possible for you to dial in. Without them, you'd be listening to dead air, as a Warwitch and DeeAy of Destruction would be saying that.
Or we'd be talking to ourselves, which is equally as frightening.
Very frightening. I talk to myself all the time, but aside from that little tidbit of information... Oh! Ventrilo's going to hell. Yeah, that's Ventrilo. I'm going to take this moment to try to... Ooh, I don't know if I should tab out a game and risk crashing or shut down Wolf and disconnect Ventrilo and then reconnect. What do you think?
I think right now... Well, we're still waiting on one player to get ready. Not quite sure if we're waiting on a person to come back from the computer. Not sure what that explosion was, but things sound okay on my end. So it's pretty much up to you. Warwitch is in control.
Alright, I'm going to disconnect from RTCW. We're not going to risk going into windowed mode because that typically crashes my entire system. I'll just reconnect to the server. I'm going to disconnect to read some sound that you just heard was Ventrilo conflict with Sound Blaster Live. You'd think that the people that made Ventrilo would realize that the SP Live is a very popular audio card, but alas, no, not to be. So I'll be hopping on in just a moment. It gives me a chance, I suppose, to play a quick sounder. Hopefully those guys will not start without me. And we'll be back and live here in just a moment. Stick around. TSN.
This worthless pile of junk still won't start. I think we need to crank it harder.
You've got it locked into explosive TSN. Return to Castle Wolfenstein action.
Hilfe! Medics!
Yeah, boy! Alright, we're back. Did a quick reconnect, disconnect to Ventrilo to solve that little problem, DeeAy. To let them know that they can't start without me, I'm heading back into the server. Give us another rundown of the rosters.
Taking a look at what we're seeing right now, Gamepoint AMD on the incoming Axis team. We have Civ, Wuff, Spear, Summel, Fette, and Refuse. Defending allied team of creatures. We have a replacement. Looks like Ara is in for... I don't know who, but Ara is now in the game, and doekoe, Pro, Lunatic, Eskimo, and Sill. So the creature is going to be defending against the incoming Gamepoint AMD team. And as we wait for Warwitch to get his butt back in the server, had a couple of game restarts. Apparently Insomnia wanted Wolf TV to be in position before the game started. Game went underway. They paused the game. They restarted the game. So right now we are back in warm-up mode and still waiting on 3 players for this game to start. So Warwitch, you didn't miss a thing.
Well, good, and I'm glad I made the right choice because I probably would have crashed by now had I tried to go into windowed mode. We are just trying to learn how to type connect, and I'm rejoining the full server, so I am shoutcasting nothing. The server's full. Yeah. Insomnia, make room for me. I'm just a tiny little guy. Just bring me in the access code.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm trying to plan something out for you.
I'm gonna cry.
Currently, I've got 1 Wolf TV too much.
Yeah, what do you got? 3 Wolf TVs in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot
One
of
needs to leave.
Yeah. All right, so we're chilling. We're hanging. I'm just gonna hang out here. Vil Coleman, looking at the RTCW title screen. Tonight, DA, we've got some other Wolf coming up. Why don't you tell the audience about that, some of the other games that are going to be transpiring throughout the week?
On Tuesday night, we have the last game in the Cal season. Cal Open Finals will be happening on Tuesday night at, I believe, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be with Warwitch and myself one more time. It's going to be Superheroes versus Order Through Chaos. And the winner of that will determine the champion of Cal Season 6 for the RTCW Open Squad. So that's going to be exciting. Stick around for that as well. Lots of other stuff coming up. We've got Call of Duty coming up. We've got other stuff. Just lots and lots of stuff. So you know where you should go. www.tsncentral.com has all the information, everything you're looking for. Go post on the forums. Go take a look at some pictures. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the server is still full. If you want to check us out in IRC, Pound TSN Central on QuakeNet is our European home, our base station for our European dominance and control over all that is good and decent. Anyway, TSN Central on QuakeNet, also our main base station, can be found on Pound TSN on the GamesNet IRC channel, and we are also in Pound TSN on the ETG, the Enter the Game IRC network. So come and join us, idle, and have a good time with Warwitch DeeAy of Destruction and the numerous other shoutcasters from the Team Sportscast Network, your leaders in online game shoutcasting. We're now return to Castle Wolfenstein, and schnell, I'll be in server here shortly. Yeah. It's a quiet, it's dead air. You think DeeAy and I have never shoutcasted together before? It's the first time for us. You leave me hanging.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here on the server. We had a player kicked instead of one of the Wolf TVs, and everything looks like it's back to normal. Now we've got 6 players on each side, got 2 Wolf TVs, 2 shoutcasters, and 2 admins. So we've got just a nice variety of things happening on the server here tonight.
Prepare to fight.
You know, I'm back just in time. The Prepare to Fight underway right now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. DeeAy of Destruction. The round is going to begin, and let's take a quick rundown. Axis incoming. GMPO squad. 6-on-6 versus Allied defense tonight. MP Ice is all about those service halls, those shipping halls, down in the field, controlling that flag room for as long as possible to hold off that Axis rush and to keep them pushed back to the Axis spawn tonight. Machine gun fire right from the start as the incoming GMPO squad up the north and south connection trying to capture that flag. Let's take a look here in the flag room right now. We've got a quick rundown of the Allied team bounding around flag chamber, currently controlled by the creatures who are locking it down at 9-2-1. Back to you.
That was actually very interesting. For those of you who are watching on Wolf TV, what happened is the Allied team of creatures came streaming into the shipping halls, and they came in from the front, the side that's most accessible to the Allied team, but instead of taking a left, which is where the flag room is, they went right. And I'm not sure if this is a strategy commonly used by Gamepoint AMD, but they were basically cut to shreds in that room to the right without even going by. Dynamite still has not been planted at that service door, although we do have members of the Axis team heading there now. But that push by Kreaturen cost Gamepoint a lot of time. Dynamite finally planted on the service door at 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on this map. So that's either gamble or good strategy by the Kreaturen. Definitely helped their team out quite a lot with 8:30 left on the clock.
Well, the Gamepoint roster made that rush towards the door with about a 3-man engineering squad once they realized it was planted and got the command from their lead engineer. Committed suicide to come back as the proper classes to make the assault on the Allied fortress itself, standing by for the respawn. Service door has been breached, and the push now is going to be incoming. Here's the major respawn as the Axis now. It looks like a 4-man push, maybe a 5-man push. One going the 5-man push through that service door, the other man going wide as they make the charge outside now, bounding forward at 754. Here come the Axis. The Allies in position. Kreaturen's roster shutting him down from all sides. Daggers have been pulled out. Green light on the fortress wall tonight. Can the engineer get it done? Tonight he is shut down and blown away by an Allied grenade. And that pineapple of doom shuts down the hopes of the Axis incoming to get themselves another route in which to take those documents tonight. Fire for effect has been called down on the fortress wall from the Allies. Doekoe, the Lieutenant Allied Army, called it down up above. Classic defense here in position around the document tower. The medic and lieutenant combination, you always see that. One to back each other up are the medic and Doekoe, the lieutenant, here tonight. A 2-man roster up on high. Looking down below, we've got a 1-man roster down below, a 2-man roster, another medic and lieutenant down below. So a 2-on-2 scenario with 2 men in the field, likely on that hill overlooking the service halls tonight. Red light has been planted finally on the fortress wall tonight, so that will give the Axis incoming Gamepoint roster another chance, another route in which to approach tonight. 6:51 on the clock, and DeeAy's got to lock down the action.
On top of the document tower now, we've got defense set up by Doekoe and Ara. They are surrounding the documents, trying to make sure that none of the Axis Gamepoint members come in here. Doing a fantastic job of shutting out the Gamepoint team. Lots of carnage on top of the tower as well in the service hall. Fortress wall has been blown. That is another exit once the documents have been grabbed by the Gamepoint team. Now coming streaming out of the service halls, taking a lot of machine gun fire from the 2nd level. Pro is up there. He is a lieutenant. He's doing some damage to those incoming Axis members. Now we've got a couple of Axis members, of Civ anyways, making his way over the wall towards the Allied spawn. Not quite sure what their meaning is here, but we've got Axis members sneaking up the ladder, stopped by Doekoe. Doekoe takes him out. We've got support fire blowing up his body and also taking out another member of the Axis team who's right behind him. Civ making his way up the ladder, but it's not going to happen. Easily taken out by Pro's MP40. Another attempt shut down by the Allied Kreaturen team. 5 minutes and 49 seconds remain on the clock.
Yeah, still plenty of time to get it done. Here comes a push. The Axis are incoming now. 3-man push, no 2-man push. From that left-hand side tower, moving towards the comm tower now. Allies in position to shut it down. Summel trying to get it done. Medic caught in a crossfire of Doekoe. Ara and friends shuts him down. Allied firing squad. 5:26 on the clock here tonight. Airstrikes out in the field. So far, the Kreaturen with a very resilient defense here tonight. However, have been forced to hold off several rushes of the incoming Gamepoint Axis roster. Pretty much showing tonight that Gamepoint has free reign of the service hallways themselves, but really suffering some difficulties as they make the assault here on the fortress proper at 5:01. Shipping hallways definitely in control of the incoming GMPO squads. The fortress still belongs to the Kreaturen tonight at 453. Looks like we may have lost Ventrilo communications. Marco Polo, DeeAy of Destruction, are you with me?
My screen is just alight with death messages as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of Gamepoint went down.
Yeah, keep talking. We had some lag. It's all good. Well, looks like we have a Ventrilo lag situation of about 20 seconds. Wolf TV having some serious problems.
Here tonight.
I'm going to shut up, D.
13 on the clock as the Axis team make another push. Ah, man. Gonna keep talking, not sure what's going on, but here come the Axis Gamepoint team making a play on the documents, and they have it. First grab of the Graham as Refuse has the documents and falls to his death. Craters off the top of that tower. Documents quickly picked up right behind him, but support fire from Pro takes out document carrier and the backup, and the documents are quickly returned to the top of the Allied tower. Another grab though, as Civ was there waiting for it. Civ and Fette now making their way across the document tower unanswered, sliding down the hill on the Axis skis. They managed to get down. Documents fallen in the field. Ara picks them up. Sorry, that was Fette who picks them up, being chased by Ara all by himself. Now down in the field, members of the Axis team spawning back in. They've got it. They've grabbed him. And Warwitch, he's seeing this.
Yeah, I'm tracking the action here tonight. DeeAy and I working through the difficulties of some lag on the TSN Ventrilo public server. Going to be switching to the private here shortly.
Oh.
Fed now trying to get it done. Incoming now by the half track, taking down machine gun fire. Documents in the field. Don't see where they are. No, they're in front of the half track. Oh, Axis member doesn't see him. Wolf moves forward. He sees him now, makes the grab. Machine gun fire. Bounding forward. Wolf can get it done. Charging forward at 249. Can he do it? He's inside. And Yabo set the time to 7:13 on the clock from Gamepoint AMD. Brought to you by Wolf Tonight. DeeAy of Destruction here in about 20 seconds will give us the statistics tonight. All UD.
Statistics for that map. Creatures outplaying Gamepoint AMD 62% overall versus only 37% for Gamepoint. Excellent play though, managing to shut down Gamepoint for 7 minutes and 13 seconds before the documents were grabbed and taken to the communication tower of Happy Fun Times. Very, very close call though. Documents dropped in the field as there was an ambush, an allied ambush out by the Axis spawn. Managed to take out several members of the Axis team, but in the end, Wolf grabs those documents and makes a play for it, not stopping to concern himself with the possibility of another ambush, something that I thought was sure to happen. But no, he manages to get in there, transmit those documents, and 7 minutes and 13 seconds is on the clock for Creature to either beat or go home with.
You know, we've had a long game so far. It looks like the lag has begun to clear up. I think Yiga is 1-1 is the score. And in round 3, set number 1, a time of 7:13 by the Gamepoint roster, 6-on-6 scenario. It is a EuroCup 8 RTCW semifinals tonight. The game is now underway and the countdown already underway. 7:07 remains on the clock. Man, oh man, objective-based map on MP Ice tonight. Axis incoming. The creatures you can expect to see the Gamepoint roster getting down and dirty in the shipping hallways and the flag room. DeeAy, let's hand it to you with a nice grenade from Sil. Opens it up tonight, taking down Civ and Refuse. All the carnage going down in the chokehold down below. Service door has been planted and DeeAy is standing by.
6 minutes, 43 seconds on the clock. Dynamite down on that service door, heading into the shipping halls now, trying to find the carnage as the Axis capture those shipping halls for themselves one more time, and now streaming out. They're going to abandon that door, just let that go off as it will. Right now, though, members coming through the shipping halls out into the hills, and there are the allies waiting for them, tossing grenades down, throwing out some machine gun fire, trying to stop the Axis before they can even come out. Service door has been breached. Allies now heading back. They're going to fall back to that document tower. Killing themselves, going to spawn back in as the correct classes. Right now, all is quiet. Perfect opportunity for somebody to get in here, but first push was shut down. Allies spawning back in to defend. 6:02 on the clock.
Standing by, a little sporadic gunfire out here in the courtyard. GMPO in position. Allied defense just trying to hold off the time they set of 7:13 on the clock. Dynamite plant, fortress wall. Creatures coming in very hard, very strong tonight. Early on with the dynamite plant on that service doorway as well as the fortress wall tonight at 5:41 remaining. Very quiet. Things have now begun to simmer down, and out of nowhere we got a grab. Documents have been grabbed. Oh man, but down as it looks like the carrier shattered his legs. Picked up again, a 3-man squad. Lunatic out of nowhere, moving fast, diving forward over the wall that is soon to explode. Risks fate. Man, that wall could have gone off and it explodes just behind him. It's like slow motion, bounding forward over an erupting wall tonight, and now backed up by his entire squad. Who has got it? You are asking yourselves. It is doekoe charging home. Now able. Can he beat the time? It looks like he can. Man, oh man, Gamepoint struggling. 5:02. Gamepoint gonna try to set up an ambush. Incoming push now, making the way home, heading back, charging forward, trying to get that cap. And the Axis gonna do it easily, beating the time. DeeAy, yo, man, 2-1 in favor of the creatures tonight.
very exciting. 2:17 was the time that the creatures set, getting those documents transmitted clearly, definitely, unquestionably beating the time of 7:13 set by Gamepoint. And now creatures, the underdogs coming into this map so far are now up 2-1. Gamepoint has to take this next point away from them, otherwise they're going to just let down a whole lot of people, not to put any pressure on them or anything, but all the predictions that were made said Gamepoint is going to sweep. Right now, score already defying that, 2-1 in favor of the creatures here tonight.
Yeah, what you'll have is a lot of people losing a lot of money is what you're going to have tonight. If this is indeed the case that the creatures, the underdogs, sweep in, and you're going to have a small group of people with some nice odds that are going to make a ton of cash as they've put their hopes on the creatures roster. Sub is our tiebreaker map, and knowing these two teams and how they fight, we may very well head off in that direction. 2-1 in favor of the creatures tonight. Also, Kreaturen as the Berlin name. I'm Warwitch, your Axis Shoutcast.
Kreaturen.
Yeah, thank you. DeeAy of Destruction as well. Insomnia, that reminds me that you're there. Give us a rundown of what you've seen so far. 2-1 is the score. The creatures, the underdogs, are dominating. We talked about how they were playing as a deathmatch team. Apparently they were listening to the Shoutcast because these guys have changed it up and they've really come on strong.
Yeah, well, this is the map they chose, so it's always a bit stronger for someone else, but it's rather unexpected that they came so far already, and they're now leading it.
They're leading it with that 2-1.
I'm going to lose money now.
Yeah, 2-1 ratio. See, Insomnia admitting that he made the safe bet. Not for the underdog, but for the Gamepoint AMD. Countdown's underway. DeeAy of Destruction, we've given the rundown. We've got the word from Insomnia tonight. 2-1, let's do it. You will fight. All you need.
Full 10 minutes on the clock. Gamepoint AMD are defending against the incoming creatures. If creatures can set another time similar to what they did in the first round on this map, Gamepoint's going to have some trouble set out for them. We've got an engineer in the mix, maybe hoping to defuse some dynamite, cause some trouble for the creatures team. We just don't know, though. Grenade work from Ara takes out Spear and Fette from the Gamepoint team. Right now, we've got the allies set up around that forward deployment flag, trying to stop the Axis as they come in. Going to swing over to the service door, see if I can't find out what's going on in there. It's swarming with allies right now. Gamepoint is all over the place, determined to hold back creatures as long as humanly possible. Dynamite planted at the fortress wall. The surface door not even touched. Fortress wall dynamite already down. Warwitch, are you watching this?
No, I'm down inside those shipping hallways here tonight. Lots of carnage going here as the K roster have got control. They are advancing very quickly. It is the Blitzkrieg of Europe all over again. Moving forward, they've really very strong on this, but as they come out of that chokehold, they eat Panzer. It's over. Out. Very, very strong on MPIs tonight. As Insomnia said, their map choice that favors them this evening, and they were able to hold off on Gamepoint's map choice of MP base, but now are showing dominance at 8-3-7. Fortress wall is down. GMPO in position. Allied defense here trying to hold off. There's the dynamite plant service doorway. Very interesting, like you said, to see the plant on the wall before the doorway. You do not see that happen a lot, DeeAy. Normally it's the door that goes down first.
Absolutely. The Fortress wall, I think, catching the Gamepoint team by surprise and now starting to fall back towards that document tower. Not sure what the engineer did after that planted. They were perhaps stopped by one of the spawning allies, but documents have not been touched yet. 8 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock still, and Gamepoint wants to hold off creatures for as long as possible as that service door is breached, and now we've got a couple of clear paths in here, and now the action's going to move outside towards the document tower. Axe is going to come in, try and grab that. Panzerfaust from Spear takes out doekoe, just makes a big bloody mess of him inside the shipping halls there. 7:43 on the clock. We've got Summel on top of the tower, defending that against anybody who might be coming up through the bell tower, but the ladder beside the documents are still free. No defense set up over here. Allies spawning back in. Lots of carnage for the creatures team. 7:25 on the clock.
Yeah, standing by, waiting for something exciting to happen. We've had some very fast times on both maps tonight. Round 3, set 1, Gamepoint setting at a marginal average time of 7:13. You think, oh, that's doable. But the creatures return with a 2:17, making the assault and coming up 2-1 tonight. Now, as Mother Momentum continues in favor of the creatures. They are on the assault, trying to get something done. They've already taken down the door and the fortress wall. Now the fortress is their last objective. Incoming push now. You can hear the machine gun fire. Panzerfaust action. Thompson and MP40 as the Germans are bounding forward. The creatures offensive push in the courtyard. Hard to see who's coming out on top. It looks like the creatures' revivals being made. Nice revivals, nice medic work from doekoe and friends. Get it done. A 3-man push now. Lower tier moving upwards towards the bell tower. Refuse GMPO is down below as a medic takes a machine gun fire from Lunatic. Lunatic then takes fire from above and fire for effect action going down. More machine gun fire. Panzerfaust from Spear getting it done. It is an amazing game tonight. A close game, and it's anybody's ball game as the creatures are streaming out of their Axis cave, moving up that bell tower 02 and advancing on that comm tower 01 to grab those documents tonight. Locking it down with a one-man defense on the upper tier for the Allies. It is GMPO Civ looking down, trying to get something done. So far, he's holding off the Germans, but he's going to need some reinforcements very soon. Several members of the Allied squad out in the courtyard. Fette and Refuse are locking it down in the front from the Germans coming out from the shipping hallways down below at 547 DeeAy. The creatures slowing down a little bit from their last round.
Absolutely, I'm on top of the document tower right now. It's not seeing a heck of a lot of action. Nice Panzerfaust from Spear of guess who else? Takes out Pro, Lunatic, Ara, and himself. So a 3-man Panzer kill for Spear. Definitely going to do a lot of good for the Gamepoint team as they try and shut down the creatures. 5 minutes, 22 seconds left on the map. Still a lot of time. Just over half of the map remains right now. We've got the Allies. They're still inside the shipping halls, taking the fight all the way back to the Axis spawn point, taking that flag back as often as they can. But here comes the Axis creatures team coming in, all spawned in, nice and fresh, streaming through the shipping doors. Going to make another play for those documents now. Ara in the lead. He is a lieutenant for the Axis team right now. Taking a look at what's going on. We've got Refuse and Pro on top of the second level. And Pro quickly taken out by a pistol, it looks like. Documents still safe, but not for much longer as the Axis come through. Allies left a little bit scrambling, but we still have Summel still alive and kicking on top of the tower. He's out by the bell station right now, firing down on Ara. Ara in a bit of trouble, taking some fire. He is a lieutenant, not going to be able to heal himself, so he's got some damage to him. And support fire on top of that community, or the document tower, now has been deserted. It looks like each team took each other out. And we've got Summel still hanging in there, but he's all by himself.
Yeah, you had mentioned it, D, that the Allied defense here tonight, God, my ventrilo's flipping out again. GMPO squad stretched a little bit thin as they're doing their best here tonight. Looks like Wolf TV is down, distracted by that enormous audio hiccup that scared the living hell out of me. Here comes a push now. doekoe medic incoming. GMPO Allied defense very thin, cut down. Allies though reclaim the shipping hallways, and that is a nice play right there. That shows that they've been out in the shipping hallways trying to kind of slow down the momentum of the German push. Nearly lose the documents because of it, but they sweep in, and we've got a timeout on the server. DeeAy. Not sure why. And then the game continues. Ventrilo's still wigging out.
Looks like Ara was actually 999, so the pause has actually been taken off. Game is underway once again. 3 minutes, 33 seconds remaining on the clock. Excellent play. doekoe almost made it to the documents, but Spear came up from behind and took him out with a pistol, rendering him dead in the middle of the field. Panzer from Spear one more time. 3-man kill. Lunatic, Ara, and Pro all in pieces in the field. Axis reclaim those shipping halls as the Allies trying to keep that away from them as much as possible, definitely just costing them time, and time is of the essence here tonight. 3 minutes, 7 seconds on the clock. Lots and lots of carnage happening, but it's not happening outside, so I'm swinging inside the shipping halls to take a look. Less than 3 minutes to go now. Here comes Pro, lieutenant for the creatures team. Rest of his team now streaming through the service door. Going to try this one more time. Almost got their hands on the documents, but so far has not happened in quite a while here tonight. Civ hanging out on the second level. He is a medic, healing himself, doing some machine gun on top of the incoming Axis team. Documents still safe. 2:37 to go. Time is starting to run out.
You know, absolutely. Very strong Allied defense now. They've discovered GMPO what they need to do to stop the push of the creatures roster, who got an enormously fast time of 2:17. and enabled them to lead here tonight. Now, with only about 2:17 remaining, they are struggling here tonight to try to grab those documents. They've thought about touching them, but haven't really had much luck so far. But here's a potential push. Eskimo has got himself a pistol, now facing off against other opposition. 1-man, 2-man down, Summel revived. Eskimo cannot do it. 3 allies being revived right there with pistols versus his Luger. It is game over for him, and that potential 1-man push ain't gonna happen. 1:54 on, or 1:47 on the clock here tonight as I become abruptly dyslexic. The countdown's underway, 2-1. This is going to enable the Gamepoint team the chance to tie the game up here tonight, because clearly it's seeming that the creatures are not going to have a chance to make a grab. The game is not yet over. They have still a few more seconds to get it done, but we're quickly approaching garbage time and quickly approaching the 1-minute warning.
Absolutely. Spear, another 2-man panzer kill, doing a lot of damage to that creature's team. Must just be swearing their heads off at him. Doing just not much good for them at all. 1:07 on the clock. About another 40 seconds before we're in garbage time. But here comes Ara. Ara blasted by the Panzerfaust Spear. He's defending on top of that document tower. More allies coming through though, but a grenade now, adding insult to injury, takes out Ara, takes out doekoe with a grenade as his panzer ammo regenerates itself. 47 seconds to go. That was pretty much the last ditch attempt by the creatures team to get those documents in there. Set a fantastic time of 2:17 in that last round, but it looks like we're going to have a full hold, and like Warwitch said, giving the Gamepoint team the perfect opportunity to tie this game up. If they can't do it, if we do have another full hold in the next round, then Creatures will take the win. So a lot is on the line for both teams, no matter which way you want to look at it. We are officially in garbage time, 19 seconds to go, and it's just not going to happen.
You know, I think I'm going to make the prediction that we might be heading off to MP Sub tonight, because the Gamepoint teams are going to have the full time on the clock to grab the docks and tie the game up here tonight. If they can't, the score remains 2-1. Axis steal the documents with 2 seconds remaining. Run! Run, Forrest, run! The Allies win. Clock now set to 10 solid minutes as the creatures lose momentum. And the Panzer Kitten says hello.
Panzer Kitten says hello indeed. Full 10 minutes for Gamepoint to get in there. Did it in 7:13 in the first round, but they obviously clearly do not need that much time. So if they can just break through, find just a little bit of a hole in the defenses of the Creatures team, then that is going to spell trouble. Score still is 2-1 in favor of Creatures, but if Gamepoint takes the next, if they set any time at all, if they set 9 minutes and 59 seconds, 9.9999 on the clock, they'll take the point, and now we'll head on to MP Sub, but we still have a full 10 minutes before that happens, and it looks like we're taking a little bit of a break before that, or is that just a referee? I can't tell what's going on.
No,
What's going on?
The referee has...
That was just a giraffe.
Yeah, the referee's got to use the privy. Insomnia still with us here tonight. CB admin in the TSN War Room. Insomnia, the Creatures, a very streaky offense. They set a time of 2:17, and then they can't set the time at all. Is it a streaky offense, or has Gamepoint AMD adapted to what they're doing?
I think they're more adapted than streaking, to be honest.
Gamepoint setting themselves up in a way that they realize now what the Creatures are up to and are able to shut them down. Fight! What kind of offense will they have? Well, let's talk about it. Round 3, set 1, MP Ice, Gamepoint with a 7:13 time. That beats 10 minutes on the clock. In theory, the game is going to be tied, but theories do not work out very well here in the land of RTCW. Theories are for the Axis GOAT. DeeAy, 9:40 on the clock. Allied K squad defense. GMPO Axis incoming. 6-on-6. EuroCup 8. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Back to you.
Going back to the traditional strategy, as Dynamite has been planted, that service door flag is still in possession of the Allied team. 9:25 on the clock. No sign of any of the Axis. We have Lunatic coming away from the Dynamite at the door, trying to do something to it, but he is a medic, not an engineer. Not going to happen. Decides to just leave that alone. Here is Wolf. Wolf is going to wait for that Dynamite to go off and then make a dash for the documents. Not sure if that's going to happen for him, as the Axis team captures the shipping hulls, and the rest of the team is going to spawn in as that service door is breached. 9 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time for Gamepoint to get in here and do something. And right now, all is quiet.
Yeah, I'm just typing to the CB admin cab. Having a good time with him at 850. Axis control of that flag room. GMPO Spear, Wolf, Civ, Refuse, Summel, and Fette versus the Allied Defensive Pro, Lunatic, Sil, Ara, Eskimo, and doekoe. Here in just a bit, we'll give a rundown of the play-by-play of what has transpired so far. We are on MP Ice tonight, having left MP Base behind. 8:28, moving outside now. Let's head to the Fortress, Allied Fortress. Take a look at their defense here tonight. Two-man defense, second lower tier, Axis, or rather Allied Lieutenant and Medic, and a two-man defense up on top by the comm tower. Once again, Medic and Lieutenant. Classic strategies being utilized proven time and again, D, that certain strats simply work, and certain strats work well. A 2-on-2, 4 men around the fortress, 2 men out in the field. The Axis now incoming. Who are the Axis? Yep, you guessed it. Gamepoint incoming now. If they can beat any point of this time at 7:51 remaining, they are going to tie the game up. If not, it remains 2-1, and the game continues.
7:45 on the clock now. Allied defense falling back to the document tower gate. We've got some artillery support fire being thrown out all over the place, and Spear does some damage. doekoe and Ara go down in pieces. Now the documents are unprotected. If a member of the Axis team can get in here and sneak by, then they'll be able to just basically swipe the documents from under the noses of the Allied team. But no, not going to happen as the Allies spawn back in. We've got Sil, Ara, and doekoe back on the tower one more time. 7:15 on the clock. Lots of machine gun fire pro from above, trying to take out a member of the incoming Gamepoint Axis team. Does not happen. Fette manages to come out on top there, but then is quickly taken out by Ara. And Lunatic as well, doing some damage in there. 7 minutes on the clock. I'm in the bell tower. Not much is happening. Allies all over the place. Defense still holding strong for the creatures. If they can hold off for another 6 minutes and 50 seconds, they will be doing a dance of joy.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of time to hold off Gamepoint AMD.
Insomnia, let me ask you this. If indeed the creatures are able to hold off GMPO tonight, the score remains 2-1. We continue to play MP Ice, or do we head off to sub?
If the score is the same, if the score is 2-2, it's we're going to sub. If we have 2-1, or Kreaturen is the winner.
Well, there you are. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting news right there tonight. So we're looking at a dangerous situation here tonight. It's a do or die situation then, Insomnia. That if the Gamepoint AMD squad cannot capture the documents here, it is game over for them.
Agreed.
Well, D, you've got it. Adds a little more momentum to the Shoutcast tonight. The unusual rules of the Clanbase EuroCup 8 RTCW. A little bit different than what we're used to in Cal, but definitely adds a little more excitement. Here's the push now, charging forward. Civ realizing now, dawning on him like it has the Shoutcasters, that GMPO have got to do it. They need to grab those documents to tie the game up, or it is game as the hell is he over. Spear and friends now bounding forward to grab the documents tonight, but locking it down in position. The Allies are trying to shut them down, but here comes the push, now reinforced by doekoe, Lieutenant Allied Army, but the Axis are in position. 3-man push, incoming now. We've got a grab, standing by. No airstrike, no grab right there. Airstrike dropped in position, but the Axis have got it. The last remaining member, Fette, with the grab now. Upper tier behind the crates and barrels, looking down, waiting, pistol in hand, standing by. He's a medic. 5 minutes. He's got the time to bring it home. He needs to be careful because it's a vital round. Hero or zero time. Looking down, the Allies see him. The Allies are incoming. I don't know what he's delaying for. He's now trapped. He better hop off the wall, bounce downwards, and craters below. Picked up though by Summel, and a nice play. Summel knows where he is, takes it inside and makes the run home. The Axis now with the document. Summel trying to get it done. Allies reclaim the shipping hallways. The creatures are all over the Axis tonight. Summel with an incredible play, picking up that football off the body, but the Allies make the return. And that is not a good thing right there for the Gamepoint roster, who tried to make a play right there. Summel is indeed a playmaker on the battlefield, but he's shut down. Still plenty of time, DeeAy, for another attempt on the documents tonight.
Absolutely, that was excellent. Excellent work by both teams. Gamepoint with that sneaky maneuver. We had a member of the creatures send out a support fire that basically destroyed all of the defending incoming Axis, but also took out his teammates that were there to back him up. Documents were stolen, documents were cratered. We had Fett waiting around. He hung around for a few seconds. We weren't sure what he was doing, why he was not just making a run for it. Turns out he was injured, he was out of ammo, fell to his death, and there was a member of his team to pick up those documents, and Kreaturen just chased them down, chased them into the shipping halls. They were halfway home with those documents. 3:32 now remain on the clock. Excellent play, excellent, just a very good strategy by Gamepoint, but also good push by Kreaturen. Kreaturen hunted them down and got their prey and saved their asses for at least another 3 minutes. 3:17 on the clock. Axes recaptured those shipping halls, and now we've got Ara and doekoe on top of the document tower. They are defending. We have a nice pile of med packs just there waiting for whoever needs them. Lots of carnage all over the place, though, as Gamepoint taken out by members of Kreaturen. Looks like not many Gamepoint members survived that last push, and the axes are coming streaming through one more time, starting to run out of time. If Gamepoint doesn't do it in the next 2 minutes and 49 seconds, then it's going to spell game over. So now we're down to the wire. This is crunch time. Something's got to give. Who's it going to be? Gamepoint, AMD, or the Kreaturen?
Yeah, we're going to find out here in just a moment. Kreaturen now really locking down that defense and made a nice progressive defensive assault and charged down that Axis incoming tonight. Very strong defense here in position, standing by for the incoming Gamepoint AMD push, formerly known as Infences. The legendary squad tonight. Not seeing much of the Axis. Still in hiding likely, just kind of down, gearing up, waiting for their final push. It looks like they're just standing by to get something done here, though we do have some sporadic fire on the courtyard. It looks like they were cut apart to ribbons, and out of nowhere we got a grab coming down and cratering in the front door, but this time they cannot get the play off, and Ara is there from the Kreaturen roster to shut it down. It looks like what Gamepoint is doing is just suiciding out the door into the front courtyard, right there where that entrance to those to the shipping hall is cratering, dying, and then for their playmaker to make those document grabs right there, bring them back inside, but the timing was off. The man was not in position for the touchdown pass, and it can happen. 1:35. We are in trouble now, as the Kreaturen roster are just about 1 minute away from victory.
You know, that was my point of view. I'm actually hovering outside of the document tower right now, and that was fabulous. The document carrier leapt off the tower just as an airstrike went off, so he literally did the whole slow motion action movie, jumping into an explosion. That was fabulous. I hope someone managed to catch a demo of that, because that was just great. We are in a lot of trouble here tonight. Gamepoint has about 30 seconds to get in here. We've got a 4-man defense of allies on top of the tower. Flag is in possession of the Axis, but it hasn't been for the entire game. No, they've had a lot of trouble keeping that as the allies just sneak back in there. And with 51 seconds to go, that gives the Axis team about 20 seconds to get in here. Fett is trying to do it. Support fire from Spear takes out Sil, Ara, and doekoe. That is going to help. And right now, documents are still safe, but no! 35 seconds to go. Spear in there, grabs the documents. He is a lieutenant. He's all by himself, going down on the Axis skis. Does not make it over the wall. Goes through the forces wall. 26 seconds to go, and he's being met with an entire spawning team of allied members. Decides to duck back in, and no, does not do it. Lunatic takes him out with his Thompson. Documents have been returned, and 13 seconds remain. Kreaturen do it. They take the game away from Gamepoint AMD, defying everybody. That was just astounding.
And ladies and... let's play the sounder. I've got to have something ready. Oh, crap. Just tabbing out a game. Boo! That's the problem. You can't shoutcast in windowed mode. Let's do it here. Here we go. Yeah. Your winners tonight. The Kreaturen, the underdogs, sweep in and kick some ass and return to Castle Wolfenstein. My, oh my, oh my. Gamepoint AMD, the chosen champions, cannot get it done, and the Kreaturen advance. We'll be back to talk about what happened with Insomnia, DeeAy, Toxic Girl, and more in a moment.
Sick of those triple-digit pings? Tired of frozen, lagged-out players ruining a good game?
Are you ready for a war?
Art of War Central can provide the solutions you need for your server-side latency problems with high-speed servers that are fit for just about any gamer mod out there. You'll have no problem getting your clan hosted. Art of War spans coast to coast with servers from Atlanta to San Jose, allowing you to select a close and convenient location. So make sure you visit www.artofwarcentral.com to get your team hosted today.
I'm Todd Hollinshead from id Software, and listening to Return to Castle Wolfenstein tournaments on TSN kicks ass.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're back. Oh my, it's time for the Art of War Central. Soldat of the game. Sounder time.
Yeah! Come on! Come on! Good game.
Well, D. What a game. What a matchup. What an exciting engagement. You know, glad we clarified the rule set with Insomnia, who was standing by with us on Ventrilo. Gamepoint. Chosen champions tonight. Creatures go up. A final score of 2-1 or 3-1? I mean, no one got the plant.
2-1.
2-1. All right, final score.
No, last round was a complete full hold. So we do get no score for that game. So 2-1 is the final score for Creatures, defying against all odds. You know, this was one of the most exciting games that I have seen in quite a while. The action was just everywhere, start to finish. You know, we were worried. The first round, set one, round one, we had a full 15-minute hold, so we were kind of a little bit worried about this. But both teams came around, and you know, they played everything tonight, and just amazing game for these two teams.
You know, a lot of listeners here dialed in as well, reminiscent of the old school days of RTCW, but that's not our focus here tonight. It is the TSN's Art of War Central. Soldat of the game, www.artofwar.com, one of TSN's Uber sponsors that you need to go check out. Absolutely, gentlemen. Let's talk about it tonight. I've got several suggestions from the Creatures roster, and I want to know what you think as well. Syl comes to mind for his incredible engineering work, as well as doekoe for some of the fantastic playmaking grabs that he made in the various rounds and sets and engagements. DeeAy, what do your notes say?
Absolutely. Still, okay, I actually split this out by map, and for MP base, first map we saw tonight, still absolutely with that game-saving dynamite defusion, and that almost secondary defusion that he did, he almost managed to get 3 defusement in a span of about 2 minutes. The last one went off in his face, and that gave Gamepoint the point. But yeah, definitely for the Creatures roster, still definitely gets my point.
Well, mad props to him. He's going to walk out of here with the Art of War Central Soldat of the King. But we ain't done yet. Now we're going to do the Clanbank, www.clanbank.com. Another one of our kick-ass sponsors, the Clanbank Axis Goat Medal of Honor Award. Let's do it right now. Sounder. Yeah, that's right, www.clanbank.com, the Clanbank Axis Goats Medal of Honor Award tonight. Normally hand this out to the playmaker of the opposing team, that though they didn't win, you've got to give them props. Mad props tonight. And I've got a couple thoughts about this one as well, Dean. We're going to compare notes and come up with a victor. Spear, clearly, for the Gamepoint team, was a dominant force. He was the X factor, the equation that really put a lot of hurt on the Creatures. But also, Summel and his well-timed playmaking grabs on MP Ice also caught my eye.
Absolutely. I definitely had Spear down for his absolutely amazing panzer work here tonight. Just 3-man kill, 2-man kill, one after the other. So Spear definitely gets my props for that. As well, that document grab by Summel and MP Ice was just fabulous. I don't know if that was a planned strategy or if it was just a fluke, but either way, it was an absolutely astounding grab to watch. So I think definite toss-up between Spear and Summel. Spear for the panzer work and Summel for that excellent grab.
Well, you know what? Hell, the Axis code is generous. We're going to give them both. The Clanbank.com Axis Code Medal of Honor tonight. That's right. We'll be back to wrap it up with a final post-game report. Stand by. You name the Axis Medal of Honor. Quick rundown of the match as it transpired. I'll talk MP Base, round 1, set 1. Kreaturen unable to get anything done in that 15-minute span of time, and DeeAy and I and Insomnia and Toxic Girl were all a little bit concerned at that point. A little bit worried about the Kreaturen, because in round 1, set number 2, Gamepoint came back with a 3-minute and 26-second plant time at both towers. Score went up 1-0 in favor of Gamepoint, and there was much rejoicing. Round 2, set number 1, Gamepoint. Then, with the momentum continues at 3-5-8, take down both towers again, clearly showing that this was their map choice. Right about now, we're just going to write the Kreaturen out of this game. We're thinking, short game, it's over. Kreaturen are losing tonight. But guess what? In the world of RTCW, on any given Sunday, that ain't the case. And the Kreaturen beat that time with a 2:35 and surprise us all, showing they ain't playing TDM. Nah, they're kicking ass tonight. 2:35, score 1-1. Then we head off to round 3, set 1, and MP Ice, where DeeAy picks up the final rundown.
MP Ice map choice of the Kreaturen, definitely one of their strongest maps. Gamepoint AMD started out on the Axis side, so they managed to set a first time of 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Not the best time for MP Ice. MP Ice 10-minute map, so they went through almost the entire map before they managed to get anything done. But Kreaturen come back and set a time in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. That gives them the lead at a score of 2-1. Headed into the next set, Kreaturen unable to do a couple of really close attempts, but just unable to get anything done. Managed to not set a time at all. Had a full hold in round 1, set 2 on MP Ice. It was looking good for Gamepoint AMD. All they had to do was set any time at all. Yeah. 9 minutes, 99 seconds, anything. And they would have tied the game, but no, it did not happen. For whatever Kreaturen was not able to do as the offensing team, as defense, they just managed to dole it out to Gamepoint AMD, held them off for the complete 10 minutes, and as a result of that, no one scores a point in the last set. That means score stands as is, and 2-1 was the final score in favor of the Kreaturen, surprising everybody, all the predictions, surprising your Shoutcasters, and they deserved it. They just played their asses off tonight, and it was a fantastic game, one of the most exciting I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, mad props to the Kreaturen who advance. Insomnia. A couple teams going to be playing very soon in the other side of the semifinals. Who do we got coming up again, going head-to-head? The victor of which will face the Kreaturen.
Ow! Ow!
That's Ventrilo. And that's awesome. That sounded good.
Sure it did.
Whoa! Here in about 1 minute, the listeners are going to scream in horror. Horror. Yeah. That hurt.
Give it a quick warning in IRC to everyone. Turn their speakers down or their headphones down. Ow.
That's going to make a good sounder. Insomnia responds with static. Yeah, good job. Well, he's gone, so Toxic Girl is officially deaf, as am I. The Kreaturen's going to go off to the finals, and we're going to be shoutcasting the other end of the EuroCup 8 finals. Let's go ahead and check the bot, DeeAy. Let's see, matches, RTCW. I don't even know if we have it up yet.
The two teams, actually, the other semifinal games is Rewind versus...
Oh, yeah.
Versus, oh gosh, okay, let me just go look it up. I had it a second ago, it was on the tip of my tongue, and then I lost it. I know there's an S in there somewhere, and a D. Oh, but that will be on actually Wednesday afternoon, so I'm hoping that is going to happen. That is also going to be an exciting game to find out who goes to the EuroCup 8 finals.
Surrender or Die versus Rewind, playing
There it is.
on Wednesday, Clanbase semifinals. The winner of that is going to go off to face the Kreaturen in the EuroCup 8 RTCW finals, broadcasted here on the Team Sportscast Network. Boy, D, it's been a wild ride. Ventrilo's been a lot of fun. It's our third caster here tonight. Toxic Girl, great having you with us on the cam tonight.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to work on your mic, TG. We're going to work on your mic, get you all configured. And I'm going to work on my Ventrilo. Insomnia's back, but too late. We already wrapped it up. For DeeAy of Destruction, Insomnia, Toxic Girl, and more. Ale Warwitch saying good night and farewell. We'll see you soon in 1944.
Good night.